Okay, so today we have Morrissey and Satellite of Love live. I don't believe there are any studio recordings of this. It's all just live things. So anyway, this is one of the last singles I do believe I have to react from him. This, of course, is a cover from Lou Reed, and it was released after Lou Reed passed away. Lou passed away in October. I believe this was released in December as a tribute. So we're going to get into this. I've never heard the Lou Reed original, I shall say, but here we go with this one here. And I imagine it's another song that probably fits Morrissey's writing, and I do believe Lou was one of Morrissey's inspirations. So let's get into it, talk about it after. Here we go. Here we go.
Satellites gone up to the skies. Things like that drive me out of my mind. I watched it for a little while. I cannot stand the TV. Satellite of love, satellite of love, satellite of love, oh satellite of. Satellite's gone way up to Mars. Soon it will be filled with parking cars. I watched it for a little while. I cannot stand the TV.
Piano. God.
Satellite of love, satellite of love, satellite of love, oh satellite of. I've been told you've been happy with Harry, Mark and John. Monday, Tuesday, any day but Thursday, Harry, Mark and John. Satellites gone up to the skies. Things like that drive me out of my mind. I watched it for a little while. I cannot stand the TV. Satellite of love, satellite of love, satellite of love, oh satellite of. Satellite of love, satellite. Satellite, oh, satellite, oh.
Well, there it is. Satellite of Love by Morrissey, and again, originally by Lou Reed, and I have never heard Lou's version, but again, it was on his big album, I do believe, Transformer, from the early 70s, so I imagine a lot of people have heard it because that album's big. But anyway, and again, Lou Reed was big for Morrissey, and I believe from what I was reading too, Morrissey even mentioned Lou in one of his biographies. I don't know how many he's done, or if he's only done one or what, but he's talked about how he really enjoyed Lou, and he really enjoyed how Lou dared to make his own path in a way. And that's one thing too, I'll say off the get-go, because again, I never knew because of people, the songs people have requested. I never knew about this song. I didn't know it was a cover. Again, I've done so many different covers now from Morrissey lately, especially because I'm pretty much, at the end of the Morrissey stuff here. But anyway, I didn't know that this was a big song. I didn't know that Lou Reed was a big guy for Morrissey, a big inspiration. I didn't know any of these things, and I just love when you make the comparison between Morrissey and I guess Lou Reed. I think about how they're both in, I guess you could say, groundbreaking bands, especially with the Velvet Underground and the Smiths. I mean, the Smiths for the early '80s with what they did with Jangle Pop and what they did with their lyricism and how Morrissey would sing that, and it was just such a different vibe than a lot of what was going on in the '80s, I feel like. And again, the same can be said about the Velvet Underground and how groundbreaking they were and how their sound was so much different from what we had heard. Well, I say we, I wasn't even alive, but what people had heard at the time. Anyway, and then they go on and do their own solo stuff and have success there as well. So there are, I guess, parallels there. And I guess, Morrissey probably saw that too. And again, that's one of his influences. And you can tell that from both of the paths that they went down. And again, I believe both guys too were never afraid to speak their own minds. Were never afraid to be themselves. Were never afraid to, again, make their own path and not follow tradition or whatever the hell. And so that comes to mind too. And I could see why Morrissey would cover a song here. And that's what it seems like to me too, because I've seen some people say that it's a bad cover. I've seen some people say it's a good cover. I've seen some people say it's an okay cover. But to me, it just seems like something that was done, again, live. And I like that they just made it a single as well, because why the hell not? And yeah, like I said off the top, Morrissey was kind of paying tribute here to Lou. And again, it doesn't seem like it's any deeper than that. It just seems like, again, he was a big figure in Morrissey's life anyway, whether Lou knew it or not. And yeah, he was just paying his respects and probably doing a song here that Morrissey, again, has probably always liked, and a song that spoke to him, like many different times that he's done through covers. And yeah, it just it came out very nice. I thought very crashing. Again, I've seen people talk about how they don't like how bashing and crashing, I guess is another word to say it, that Morrissey songs can be, especially around this time. Because this cover again came out in like 2013, just before World Peace Is None of Your Business came out. But when I think about the crashing and the bashing kind of a sound, I think about Matt Walker, who again is on this track here. And I just love that sound. So I'm one of those people that does like that sound, or that does like that heavy, wiry guitar work, especially here. And there were some nice catchy guitar riffs, guitar licks, you could say, around at different points in the track. And like it kind of said there, like a second ago, I thought the guitar work was heavy at points too, and it kind of just fit with the kind of melodramatic, melancholic vibe of it all, because again, when we're talking about the song here, from what I got from this listen, obviously we're talking about infidelity, we're talking about a bad relationship now, a relationship gone bad, and of course the narrator here and who Morrissey is being in this case is pissed and is sad and is depressed and emotional, and Morrissey kind of channels that, and I love that at different points too, and I'm all over the place, but Morrissey's voice, because it just came to my head again, and again, this is a live performance. I don't know how many songs he had done up to this point, but his voice is kind of gravelly and kind of raspy at different points, and it's just a bit more bassy, I guess you might say, and it adds to the atmosphere here, because the atmosphere is kind of dark, and it's dark on purpose, obviously, with what the song is about, what these lyrics are about. And again, like I was trying to say, the guitar work, the drumming, the piano, it all fits that. The piano, especially from Gustavo here, was moving. It was, again, very, it added to the atmosphere, I could say again. And but at the same point, it had some bright spots, and I thought that was the, aside from Morrissey's vocals, his strong vocals, once again, which always appear on so many different songs. I mean, no matter what you think of the band, I feel like Morrissey's voice is always there. And like I said here, even though there was some, like, I don't know if it's a voice cracks or whatever, I felt like it added to the whole feeling, the whole vibe of it all. So it kind of worked anyway, and I liked it, because he just sounded real and it was live, and I liked that feeling. Anyway, it sounded intimate and personal. But yeah, I just love that bashing, crashing sound, and yeah, that Matt Walker can always provide. And again, like I talked about, Gustavo was kind of the second guy for me that was the most prominent after Morrissey, and I like that so much. And again, the piano playing is just perfect for this track here, and everybody kind of just added to the whole bold, big in a way sound. It wasn't big the whole way through. It wasn't like a big commanding sound, but at the same point there were moments of that, and I liked it. So anyway, there are credits and personnel here, which I'm surprised by, on the Wikipedia page for Satellite of Love. So I assume this is for this live version. Again, I think there are a couple different versions, if not a few different versions of this, but I went with this one, so let's go with this personnel as well. So Morrissey, I can't believe it. He's on lead vocals here. Bosbor on guitar and mixing, it says here too. Jesse Tobias also on guitar. And again, love the wiry, kind of fiery, different guitar work at different points. And at the same point, it's a bit laid back. And it's just, again, there's that whole kind of depressing feel about it. There's a bit of dejection with the music and with Morrissey's vocals too. I gotta take a drink. Holy moly, no pauses. Gustavo Manzer, and I never know if I'm saying his last name right, but I love his sound, so I apologize, because Gustavo is on piano and backing vocals here. Solomon Walker on bass and Matt Walker on drums. And again, I just love, I've fond about Matt Walker so many different times, but again, he's hard hitting here. Love the cymbal crashes. He again, he adds to the whole track and the whole feeling of it all here, and the whole feeling of being betrayed and being sad and seeing something on TV and just thinking, I don't give a fuck. I hate that she left me. Anyway, so let's get into these lyrics now and kind of talk about that. And Morrissey does change up some lyrics here. And I did see when I was searching this up, they're like, why? And I say it's just some comments I was reading anyway. People were asking, why did he change the lyrics? He didn't have to change the lyrics. Why would he do that? I don't know. It's Lou Reed, you don't change it. But again, he's changed the lyrics for different covers he's done. So here we are again. And I don't think that's a disrespectful thing to do. I think he's just doing his own thing, whatever the hell, and I don't think he did it out of disrespect anyway, because again, from what I've read, he loves Lou. Anyway, so with the first verse, satellite's gone, up to the skies, things like that drive me out of my mind. And I feel like he kind of shortened a lot of these lyrics too, and that's one thing I feel like he likes to do. But satellite, people watching the TV, watching the satellite leave Earth, go up to the sky, go up to space, whatever the hell, and that's a big event, and that's a big, happy whatever thing that people like to watch with their family. It's like watching, I don't know, a rocket ship go to space or whatever the fuck, and but it seems like this problem of this relationship, it reminds him of his girlfriend leaving him. And I talk about this because again, that's Lou's song, so I guess that's the whole point. But yeah, their narrator's girlfriend has left him, and I guess seeing the satellite leave Earth reminds him of that. Everything he sees, maybe just that her leaving seeps into it, and just everything just turns to shit for him. And he can't be happy about anything. He sees something on the TV that makes somebody happy. He looks at it and he's just like, that drives me out of my mind. I can't stand the TV. But again, I think in Lou Reed's version, then there is an annotation here, so let me read that. But first, pre-chorus, I watched it for a little while. I cannot stand the TV. Now again, there is an annotation here from Genius.com where it says this is altered from Lou Reed's version, where he says, I love to watch things on the TV. So it's very opposite here. And Morrissey's showing his big dislike for the TV here, and maybe that's just Morrissey. Maybe he just doesn't like TV. I don't know. Then we have the chorus here: satellite of love, satellite of love, satellite of love, satellite of, and I like how it's not finished off there. And again, satellite of love leaving the Earth, like his love left, or him, his love left him, just reaching out for somebody, and nobody's there, especially not his love. And then we have the second verse: satellite's gone, way up to Mars, soon it will be filled with parking cars. Now I guess can I say the word commercialization comes into play here? It reminds me of like Anarchy in the UK. Your dream is a shopping scheme. This kind of a thing. All this stuff is going to be corporate one day. It's all going to be, capitalized, and capitalism's going to come into play, whatever the hell. Just, I don't know, things that people find nice or happy or whatever the hell. Now the narrator, once again, is just thinking about the bad side of it, and how everything has just turned to crap. And again, just this hate and this loss of love is just seeping into everything. He's lovesick. He's heartbroken. I mean, my God. And then we have the pre-chorus again. I watch it for a little while. I cannot stand the TV. And just the way that Morrissey delivers that, like, it's not like he's phoning that part in. He does sound like he hates the TV when he says it. He does sound a bit mad. Then the chorus once again, and then the bridge. I've been told. Now here's where the truth comes out, and this is where we find out, oh, now we understand why he's a bit mad. I've been told that you've been bold with Harry, Mark, and John. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday with Harry, Mark, and John. So again, infidelity comes into play. It seems like she cheated, and she had to go, and obviously he's pissed about that, and again, he's lost. He doesn't know what to do. He didn't know this was happening, I guess, until he finally found out, and she was bold with those three guys, and it's over. And then we have the first verse that comes back in, the pre-chorus and the chorus. I'm not going to go over them again because I already did. And then the outro, satellite of love, is repeated on there more than a few times, and yeah, it's a dejected, depressing, commanding though at the same point, and bashful track, and bashful in the way that, again, that's a very loud and in your face track in a way too, because again, it's Matt Walker on the drums. I mean, he's always pretty much doing that. But hard hitting, and it's hard hitting too with the lyrics, and Lou Reed's version too is obviously very hard hitting, and I'd like to go and hear Lou Reed's version now, I guess, to myself. But yeah, just from what I've heard here, again, a nice little tribute. I don't think it had to be anything big and special, whatever. Just to me, it seems like Morrissey was just giving his due and paying his respects after Lou passed away. And again, he was a big inspiration to him, and he thought, what the hell, let's do this live and then put it out as a single. And I did see somewhere that it did go to #1 anyway, and at least in the US on one chart or whatever. So I guess it did do something. And yeah. And, rest in peace to Lou. It's been about almost 12 years now. Like I said, I think he died in October of 2013. But, yeah, this was just kind of, a nice little tribute. I mean, I liked it, though, again. And those feelings, relatable as hell, once more. And, again, it's something that Morrissey would write about. So this fits his character very well, or just who he is very well, whether it's a character or not. So I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Thanks for all the support, and coming back for another Morrissey Friday. Like I said, I think this is one of, if not the last single I had to react from him. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. So I'll see you guys next time.